All right, hello, fellow creators. I actually had some trouble recording, so I'm resetting the recording, and it can continue working on this. So I'm gonna go over what I did. So the first thing I did is I figured out where center was in the artboard. I put a marking line, guideline down there, so that way I can have that, and that guideline is locked to my layer. I have a bottom layer with the original artwork and the guide, and that layer is locked. Um, what I do is I have a separate new window open of the same document, and in here is just this layer visible, so that way in this document I can see the difference between the two layers. And then this way in here I can turn off that to see where I'm at and see how well it actually compares to the original. So what I'm going to do here is I actually have on this layer also, if I select this, I have a effects which will offset the path. I don't know why it's acting funny. Give me that. Why won't it let me select the layer? Maybe because it's locked? Ah, so I have a transform and I have it mirrored. So anything I draw on the right side will mirror to the left side. And what that does is it makes it so all I have to do is draw it once and it automatically is cloned over. And what I have is an invisible box rectangle here, which I could put all the way to the bottom. This rectangle allows it so that way I have a big drawing area that is not affected by anything. And it can be off because all that it is required is to be there. So that way everything in the center is mirrored automatically. So that way I only have to draw once and I can see what it looks like between the both sides. All right, so here's where I was at. So this layer up here is in the appearance is just a simple gradient. Let me pull that out so you can see it. This gradient is just this here. So it's a 90-degree, and these are about at the 24 and 58 position. The color hex for that are these here. So if you want to take note of what colors I used to get the effect, those are those there. So they're a slight blue gray. And then the same thing. For this layer here, because it actually has dual gradients, you can do dual gradients in your appearance palette. So the first gradient is this one, which is this lower one here, which is a gradient at 23 degrees. And these are at 24 and 58. And then I have a second gradient on top, which is just black and black. One of the blacks is at 24 or 25, and that one is 100% transparent. The other black is at 77, and that one is 100%. So it's fading down here, and it's at a perfect 90, a minus 90-degree angle. So it's going from the top to the bottom of transparent to solid. And like I said, because the layer is mirrored, I only had to draw that once. Then we come up here to my other layer that I have. So this one is all the way on top, and this one will be the skin that I'm going to have over here. And as you see here, it looks like there's two gradients going on. So I think the best way to get that effect would to do a blurred capped um what would you call it, blend. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy it, Control C, Control B, so it's a copy below. And then what I'm going to do here is the bottom one will be the dark color. So I already pre-collected the colors. So the fill for that one would be that. And then the top one will be the almost white. Make sure it's on the fill. Then I want to figure out, okay, so about right here, then it's almost to the edge, and then it's shorter. So I'm going to duplicate it again. No notifications are supposed to pop up. Do not disturb mode should have been on. I don't know why that got turned off. So I duplicated on top again. I'm going to turn off my original so that way I know that that's the original. And then I'm just going to simply do a quick pen tool, making this shorter, and then bringing it around to about right here, and then cutting it. So if I didn't get that cut, I'm going to force that cut. Oh, apparently, because I didn't get it at the top. Now I don't have to be perfect with this because I'm just getting a rough trace of where I want it, and then I'm going to come in and polish this. So that looks about right there for the blend. Oh, nope, it's going to go down way further. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to snap that to there. Now this is on top, so I just have to worry about getting it covered. And it looks like about there. I'm going to go back to the pen tool and I'm going to minus out a couple points here. If you have Astute Graphics, I can switch over to that one. Oh, my shortcut keys got erased. What was that under? There it is, ink scribe. So I can switch over to this, and this one will let me reblend my lines without losing position. So I can smooth this out without needing to reset where the line was. So I can get that, and based off of this, I want it to actually be straighter here. And it actually curves up into here a little bit more. So this is the upper of the blend. Now I have my original here. That's going to have to go back to the top. And then what I'm going to do is select these two to get this blend nice and smooth. I'm going to go into it, and then I'm going to hit enter. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring me into the how many steps I want. And actually that did about good. 175 would be good, but I'm going to go ahead and bump it up to 200 steps. So that way this is nice and clean. Now I'm not worried about it overshooting or anything like that because I have my original that's going to cap that blend. So I'm going to make a clipping mask, and now that looks beautiful. So I can see up here I'm actually too high. So what I'm going to do is now with the direct select, I'm going to select this and I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to bring this line over until it peaks up a little bit better. And I'm going to bring it down here. And then I'm going to bring this line down. This is where a lot of redrawing is going to come in to get a similar or same effect. And I can see already I need to actually come up a little bit more also. So I'm just going to bring this line up and make sure I'm not overlapping on lines here. Oh yeah, much better. So now I can see that this can be removed. Oh, I'm going to turn on my shortcut key here because that's annoying me. Scribe tool 4. There we go. Now I can switch to that easily. I'm going to minus out that line, and then I'm going to re-bring it back, and then that way, it's smooth, and I can pull it. Let's actually bring it down here. So it's a curve. Okay. And then for some reason, the overlap here is not working. That's a solid color. So now I have that effect. So if I view it in outline mode, all I see is a few lines, but if I view it in normal mode, why does it look like it's up above it? But when I zoom in, it's perfect. There's a faint little line there. All right, so I'm going to go into this. I'm going to select that, hit the A tool, and I'm just going to bring that over. Aha. So the upper line here needs to, oh, there we go. That fixed it. And then this one, I can bring back to center. Oop, I moved it. I mean, also what I could do to make sure that that does go nice is I could just put a box right here of that color because I know that it is there. All right. Because I know that's just a straight box. That way it covers up that little faint line that it keeps dropping in there. All right, so now it looks like I got that inner part of it, but it still looks weird up here. But now to get the outer line, because this inner line looks done. Except for this edge right here. This one little spot. That was weird. That is completely off. It's bringing back a layer that doesn't exist and deselecting my... Interesting. I've never seen it do that before. Well, we'll just grab these until they're all there. Like that. Now that looks about right. Almost. I re-bring that over. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that looks beautiful. Also, when you set any of your colors in your document, always make sure that they're set to a global color so that you could come in and adjust them later on so that you're not locked into a color. That way you can come in and, like I just did, and change dynamically your color. Because it wasn't supposed to be white, so for some reason it was white. It was not off-white gray, which I need a little bit more blue. So let's bring a little bit more blue into this. That's too much blue. I have a preview on one. Yeah, just a tad bit of blue. But that looks great. I think that's matching that almost perfectly. This line in here, that gradient, which is this, I'm going to adjust this blue, which is this one here, make it a little bit lighter. So instead of RGB, I'm going to switch over to HSB and just do it a little bit lighter. Remove a little bit of the black. And I should be able to update this. And then I can select this one, select the bottom one, and update that. There we go. And what I'm also missing, which I'm now seeing that I missed, is the spectral highlight here. So that comes up here, hits here, goes over to here, comes back, hits here, and then goes back. So this just needs to be the white, which I'm going to make sure I zoom in here, and I bring this edge just a tad bit more up. Why is it somehow showing the layer below? There we go. And then what I'm going to do is just blur it. So with that selected, I'm just going to go into my appearance palette, effects, blur, Gaussian blur, radius 10. Let's go 2. maybe, yeah, that looks good. So that gives me the spectral highlight there. It's on the very top of there. And then there's a highlight at the edge of here. It follows the curve. So same thing again. I'm going to go at the top here, go at the bottom here, and then I'm going to click off to here, get this one, because I'm going to come in and bend this one, minus that one, come in and bend it just a little bit underneath it. And then to make it easy, I could select this one. And where did my graphic styles go? Well, that's weird. Graphic styles. So I get my graphic styles here, and I go create new. So I'm cloning that spectral, and then I can apply it down here. Oh yeah, now that's looking really good there. And now I think I got that. I think I need less black on this part here. So this gradient here, I'm going to move the blue down, and instead of it being solid black, I'm going to come into about the middle here, drag off the black, and bring it down. So I do like the color that I have, because it's matching that. But I could also make this brighter. Again, I could switch over to HSB for hue, saturation, brightness, and I'm going to go a lot a bit brighter, about right there, a little bit less blue. I think that looks a little bit better. And then what I could do is drag and drop this color. Oh, it switched me back to the gradient. I want to be in the color. Is that how I'm going to do it? Okay. So what I did is this color here, I dragged it down, held Alt, and then dropped it over it, so all my new colors will update to that. So I don't have to go back and redo it. But now, if I look at it, I see that up here, there's a little bit of a problem. Yeah, it's too bright up here now. So what I'm going to do is zoom in here, and I think it's this curve right here. And then come in here and bring this curve down. I think that's what I'm going to do for those two parts. And then for the rest of the shape here, I have a whole bunch of shapes that I'm going to put over the top of the original shape. So I do have that here that I already pre-drew, which, oh, I'm in the wrong artboard. Get to the right artboard window, turn on that. So that's here. And then I have the lower half here. So to make these easier to see, the lower half I'll do dark. I'll do this one light, just so that we can see it. I can actually go to the, nope, too hard to see. So that's there. Like I said, I pre-rendered this part out, and let me fix that because that actually should have been there. Um, that fades to about right there. So what I'm going to do is draw a line from here to about right here. And then using the pen tool, I'm going to warp it from the center here, or I can use my astute one, and I'm going to match to the bottom as much as I can here. Because it goes to about here. and then it comes out. I don't have to be right on because I'm going to fix it up in a little bit. All right, so that's that line. Then it looks like there's a gradient line here, so I have, let's see, what do I have here? I'm trying to figure out where all the main lines are. Because I could do a lot of gradients to get the effect I'm going to do. So that looks right. I think I have all the lines that I need. So what I did is I ended up drawing all of these lines here. Oh no, I'm missing a line. I see it now. So that goes to the inner curve from here down to about right here. I actually do need one more line, so I'm going to Control C, Control F to put that in front, and all I'm going to do is bring this outer edge in. And actually it needs to be brought in a little bit here. And then down at the bottom, the same thing. So zoom out, go to the bottom, bring it up. All right. So yeah, that should have been able to do that. And then this line starting about here and going to the almost outer edge here. And it's an invisible line. Same thing with this one, invisible line. Okay. So now we're going to turn this into a whole bunch of broken lines. So all I'm going to do is come over to my Pathfinder. Which, why are those disappearing? I've never seen it do this before. Window, Pathfinder, and we're going to divide it up. Okay. So now we're going to build these paths that I need to rebuild back. This one, oh wait, is that right? Oh, I missed a line. That's okay. I can add this back in. Let me pull these out of the way. Oop. So I can see that. Put that over there for right now. All right. AAP, deselect this line. It's at the 50% mark. Going to about right there. Then it comes around to about right here. Oop, I just want you. Divide it up. I'm going to put my panels back off to the side. Let me actually reset my workspace here. So now I'm just going to apply a whole bunch of gradients to this. So like this lower one here, it's a light gradient. I'll do that. Yeah. So I can select this. First, let's eyedrop. And then I'm going to click in here, select it. Oh, interesting. Okay, so select in here, I drop it, and I'm gonna make the new color, and that color is gonna be a global color, and then we're gonna select this. Well, first we're gonna send it backwards so we can see it in here better. And it should match this as close as possible. Yeah, that looks good. This is the light color. This one here is dark. It's almost black, is what I call it. In fact, that is pretty much black. But what I'm going to do is pull this over, make sure that it's blue. And like, because I'm using a global color, you're seeing that this is going there. And then I could bring it back down to where it's almost black. Um, 5. There we go. So that's that. And then this is the very dark blue color here. But as you see, that almost black actually is a gradient. So if I select this and apply my gradient, I'm going to bring actually out the gradient tool. Oops, I need it to be reversed. From whatever this is, it's, oh, by the way, I'm going to need to go straight up, so it's shift. And in the gradient palette, I'm just going to reverse it. So that looks about right. I'm going to bring this gradient line down here. This is going to come down. And then I'm going to add a color here. Come on, add a color. This color will be my almost white. Oh, yeah. So we're going to bring this down here. And there is that gradient. Actually, what I'm seeing here is that so it looks like that we're going to have to go all the way up, but we're at a really steep angle here. So bring this down, bring this down, way far down. And I'm watching this at this corner here because it needs to remain the black. I don't want, for some odd reason, didn't do it. Okay. And then bring this down there. It's almost at the bottom here, though. So let's bring that to there. See, I can see it over here, though. So we're going to bring it to there, and we're going to change the angle of this. And I'm going to bring this to there, so that way I make sure that that never goes outside the black. It would be impossible. Yeah, that looks better. So that's matching that pretty close. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to zoom into the top part. Oh, actually, then this blends back into a blue. So in my gradient here, which is acting funny, there we go. We're going to do a very, very, very light blue. And that did not do the color that I told it to. Come on. There we go. I'm going to hit another one here so that we can lock in. And I'm going to bring that down to about right there. And then so this, I'll just apply this gradient so it's easy. Same thing because I'm pretty sure, yeah, it remains white all the way up. So it's going, this is not going to be 100% accurate because I'm redrawing the thing. But I'm going to put it like this. And then I can pull off all these other colors here. Oh yeah, that did it. So now we got that curve. And in fact, if I pay attention here, come on, there we go. That stayed black pretty much all the way around until the very tip there. So it's light blue, black, and then light blue again. Okay. Deselect. So select this outer edge. So it's light blue. About right here, it's black. And then up here, it's light blue again. So we're just going to go click the gradient. So this should be my first light blue. I'm going to bring it over so I can get that light blue again. Oop. This one in the middle here, which we have as white. Let me make sure the gradient is going from, and I'm going to go slightly in to make sure that my blue stays blue at the top and bottom. And then, oop, need to go a little bit shallower. So from here to here. So where the white is right now, I'm going to drag in the almost black. And now in the gradient here, I can pull this over and I can pull this blue and I can pull this blue so that the black is in the right spot. Which is about right there. Oh, that did it. Now something at the top is not right. Oh, I missed. That's right. That's right. Okay, so this one, which isn't broken. Whatever I did, that looks actually cool. But it's not right. Something's not breaking this for some reason. It is broken. But why isn't it broken everywhere? Ah, that just needs to go off the edge. Okay. I'm going to double click in. I'm going to use my Pathfinder, which disappeared again. I don't know why my panels keep dropping out here. All right. Divide it up. No, it's still not broken. We'll just do that. Pathfinder, divide. That is almost impossible what it's doing. It is broken. Divide it up. Degroup. Maybe the grouping. Ah, grouping was holding me back. Alrighty. And now, oh, when I go into isolation in both windows, it does that now? Ah, that's a cool little quick turnaround that I could do. Okay, so this one's light blue to the black. So it's this. We're just going to go gradient this way. And that looks good there. And then this one is black across the top, light blue all the way down until it's white. So gradient, and it should be vertical. And of course, it's black across the top. So we want the black. Okay. And then it fades to this blue. Okay, and then this will be the white. So we'll put that down at the end. Ooh, I think I got it. Yeah. And then this one I need to have fade to the blue. So this blue actually comes down a little bit more. All right. And then this gradient. Oh, okay, I see what's going on here. My curve is not shallow enough here. This should have came over here. This should go down to here. And then this is where I can come in with this tool, kill that out. This, we can minus it out by doing that. I don't know what this one is. What is this one? Just a random little line. Okay. Let me see. Transparencies. Good. This one, the blue needs to come down further. So gradient, I ended there. So actually, we just need to move it. Really what I need to do is go all the way right there. Right there. There we go. And then this one, gradient. Oh, the black is too much. And my color palettes, all the other palettes would disappeared on me again. That's weird. This one is this blue. There we go. There we go. This let me zoom in here. Give me a gradient. There we go. Oh, yeah, no, it could be that. Oh, no. This one's the weird gradient. Okay. I see what I need to do here. This one is going to be a blend. So, Control C, F to paste in front. With these two selected, I'm going to make a clipping mask. There we go. And then with the upper one and the bottom one made, we are going to do a blend. So I'm going to bring out my blend tool, blend from here to here. Turn off that, blend from here to here. Why isn't it doing the blend? Oh, I'm not doing my blend tool. I'm doing shape blender. There we go. Specific steps, 200. And if I double click out, oh, turn back on the clipping mask. Ooh, I think I got it. All right. Well, there we go. And there is the ACURA logo revectorized. Now, since I only have it half the logo rendered, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to duplicate this layer so that I have my original, and then I'm going to in the on the duplicate layer, I'm going to go object expand. Uh, expand appearance. Um, the downfall for this is all the gradients are going to be outlined. I have tried to figure out how to not do that, but it actually now is manipulatable. And what actually got expanded was those highlights. You know what? I'm actually going to do a little bit different on those highlights before I expand it. So these highlights here that I have, yeah, I have two of them. Instead of Gaussian blur, what I'm going to do is with it selected, the fill, I'm going to do the opacity. I'm going to do screen, and it's going to be 20%, right? Then I'm going to do duplicate, and then with the duplicate selected, path, offset path, we're going to do rounded, and 0.1 millimeter. Then I'm going to duplicate it again. This one's 0.2. And if you get where I'm going here, it's going to give a little bit of highlight without a blur effect. So remember how I had in my appearance palette, that appearance, if you come, I don't know why it's doing that. If I come to this appearance, I should be able to drag and drop that here, and it will update this spectral highlight that was right here, which is that there. I like that better. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate that layer now. Turn off my duplicates. Select that. Go Object. Expand Appearance. There we go. Now everything is vector. Because any raster effects that you do will, when you do the expand, will expand out into an actual JPEG, and you don't want JPEGs in your file because you want to keep it 100% vector. But there you go. That's how you get that to be back to accurate and 100% vector again, and pretty dang close to the original. I always tell people when I'm revectorizing their artwork, I try to get to 90%, at least to 95, 96%, to where if you were to take a quick glance at the two, you would not tell that they were different. So if you were to ever take a quick glance at these two, you'd be like, oh, they're the same. And they're not. One's vector, one is raster. So I'm going to go ahead and close this secondary window here, and I think I'm good to go. So I do also have the text for ACURA in here, so I can pull that back in. Go ahead and just grab this one here. Cut, close, no, paste, and of course it's tiny. And there we go. Now ACURA has been redone. The other thing I could do for this text down here, so that way I get a bubble effect on that, is go to Effects, 3D. Where's the new 3D? I actually haven't used it because I didn't like it. I don't like doing raster effects inside my Illustrator. I like to try to keep everything 100% vector. Because if you start adding raster effects, then you start having document raster settings. Oh, inflate. There we go. That's the one I wanted. Inflate, and I do not want it to rotate. So put all these back at 0. That kind of looks good, actually. But the depth, I think I'll bring that down. Where's the lighting control? Inflate both sides? Oh, I see what inflate both sides does. Okay. Ooh. There we go. And then that way, that has a 3D effect to it. But if you see, I zoom in here, it's a pixel raster effect. And if I zoom in here, I have a little bit of edge exposure here. So normally I go back and check that, which is just an easy direct select. Normally I go through and double check all my artwork layers to make sure no line is exposed, because that is a bad thing. If I go to print and this gets to billboard size and I suddenly have that. All right. Yeah, that looks cool, but let's see if I could do this in an actual 3D effect that is not 3D. It's 100% raster. So I'm going to move this box out of the way. Don't want it. I'm going to delete the 3D material. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy, paste him back, select the two. Oh, that was interesting. Um, so I'm going to select this top layer here. In my Pathfinder window, I'm going to make compound shape. Then I'm going to select all the shapes that I just had below. I'm going to group them together. Then I'm going to do the same thing that I did earlier. I'm going to Control C, Control F for paste in front. The background one, I'm going to make it black, but I'm going to still keep the blue that's in there. You can't see what I'm doing right now because it's in the background. Then this upper one, I'm going to go path, offset path. I'm going to bring it in slightly. I'm going to make sure it's on round. So any of these inner edges go that way. And now I'm going to move it down to the right a little bit, or just to the right a little bit, actually. No, I'm going to do up to the left. Yeah, that would look better. Up to the left. And then, oh, it. I'm going to group those and pull those outside the original group. I'm going to turn off that original group. Why don't I see a change? What is going on here? I should see black letters underneath this. Oh, it didn't do it. Okay. Make clippy mask. There we go. Then we're going to go into the clippy mask. I'm going to double click in again. Oh, no. Went too far in. Back up one. Oop. Into the clippy mask. I'm going to select these two layers, use the blend tool, and blend between these two. Hit enter. Steps 200. Yeah, there we go. That way, that is 100% vector. And so if I were to scale this up or down, I don't have the pixel effects. Now, if I really wanted to, I can select these objects again and go path, offset path. -1. Okay. And that way they're reduced even further. And why in the heck? What the heck? Okay, well, delete that one. I don't know how, but it was doing that to where, yeah, that's even better. And now we can move these around. I'm thinking maybe up. Yeah. That way you don't have to do a gradient mesh. Because gradient meshes are great. You still will have some weird spectral lines in here, but those are better than trying to do any raster effect. I highly recommend staying away from those. But because it's been an hour recreating this logo, if you would like this original file, I will put it up on my website. It would be in the link in the description below. Um, if you want, please reach out to me and I can look at getting you a copy of this file. But like I said, I spent an hour recreating it in Vector. But because it's a logo, I don't know if I can share it. I'm gonna communicate and make sure that it is the right, accurate ACURA logo. All right. Stay creative and have a great night.